Alrighty, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the 22nd iteration of the Konoha Companion. This is Joshua. I'm your Konoha Companion, and on this episode, we're going to be covering Season 1, Episode 21, entitled Identify Yourself, Powerful New Rivals. And real quickly, previously on the previous episode, the squad made it back to the village, and Naruto and Sasuke's rivalry is back to burning like hot fire. The squadlings are pumped for another important mission, but instead of an important mission, they get put back on D-ranked missions, pulling weeds, cleaning trash, that sort of stuff. Sakura is still fawning over Sasuke. Naruto is still head over heels for Sakura. Kakashi is still chill as a cucumber. The good times, right? This is just living their lives. The squad separates for the day, and the Konohamaru Ninja Squad, consisting of Shrimpy, the red-haired girl Moegi, and the snot-nosed boy Udon, get introduced after they try unsuccessfully to get the drop on Naruto. While Naruto and the kids are talking, Sakura approaches them, and Shrimpy asks Naruto if Sakura is his girlfriend. And this triggers an immediate ass whooping for both Shrimpy and Naruto when Naruto responds that Sakura's crazy about him. The kids and Naruto run afoul with Sakura again when Shrimpy makes a forehead joke, and they wind up running from Sakura to avoid another ass whooping, where Konohamaru literally runs into Kankuro and Temari from the Hidden Sand Village. Kakashi at this point then submits a report on the mission to Iruka, and they discuss Naruto. Kakashi tells Iruka that Naruto looks up to and admires him the most. He also goes into detail about the rivalry between Naruto and Sasuke and how that's ultimately boosting Naruto's growth. It takes us back to the interaction between Squad 7, the Konohamaru Ninja Gang, and Kankuro and Temari. And Kankuro is basically stopped from bullying Shrimpy by Sasuke with nothing more than a pebble, which prompts Kankuro to get more serious, but he's suddenly stopped by Gaara. And it's revealed via Lord Third in a meeting with all the squad leaders that basically in a week they're going to be having the tuning exams to see which of the Genin move up the ranks. Right, and so this is why, presumably why these guys are in the village. And yeah, we're going to see who makes it on the rank. Remember, tuning is the rank where Iruka is, right? So you can be like a grown adult and be at tuning. So it may be a little early for these guys, but we're going to see. We'll just dive right into the current episode, and this episode starts with the scene that is transpiring between the Genin from the village hidden in the sand. Again, it's Temari, the blonde chick, Kankuro, the purple makeup face guy, and Gaara, the guy with the red hair and the eyeliner. And there's the other characters that are involved are characters that we're more familiar with. There's the Konohamaru ninja team, Konohamaru, the red hair girl Moegi, and the snot-nosed boy Udon, plus Team 7, Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. At this point, Kankuro had just busted out the crow, which was that mummy-looking thing on his back, but Gaara stopped him, saying, "You're an embarrassment to our village. Have you forgotten the reason why we all came here?" Kankuro stammers and accuses the squadlings of challenging them and starting the whole thing. He continues, "See, here's what happened," and Gaara promptly tells him, "Shut up, or I'll kill you." Kankuro backs up, says, "Oh, right, I was totally out of line. I'm sorry, Gaara. I was totally out of line." And, whoa, holy cow, this dude really, threatened to kill Kankuro for talking too much. This is going to be a wild ride with these dudes. I knew leading up to this, right, that, the last member of the team or whoever was showing up was going to be, an authoritarian type, right, whenever Temari was like, "You need to stop what you're doing, he's coming, you're going to pay for that." But damn, I didn't realize that you just talk too much shit in Gaara's presence and he'll fucking kill you, right? So walking on eggshells to say the least. Gaara at this point then turns and says, I'm sorry for any trouble he caused. And I guess this is for real. I mean, even when they first started the altercation, Tamari was like, you better not act up because Gaara's coming, basically. Sasuke then thinks in reference to Gaara, this guy has an evil look in his eye. And then Gaara then thinks in reference to Sasuke, he stopped Kankuro with a pebble, made it look easy. This guy's someone to keep an eye on. And it's dope that these two alphas have already identified one another. Gaara at this point turns into a swirling field of sand and recorporealizes next to Kankuro and Tamari and tells them, let's go. We didn't come here to play games. Kankuro responds, all right, sure, I get it. And they all turn and walk away. Sakura then runs out from the group towards the Sand Shinobi and demands, hold on. And when they don't stop, she yells, hey, even louder, which stops the group of hidden Sand Shinobi, and Tamari, without so much as turning around, asks, what? Sakura says, I can tell from your headband that you came from the village hidden in the sand. Of course, the land of fire and the land of wind are allies, but no shinobi can enter another's village without permission. And Sakura finally called it Hidden Sand Ninja right. I was able to tell it because I'm a nerd, and they've shown these symbols in the past, and so anybody who's watching and paying real close attention and keeping real tight track would have known. I had no idea, right? I don't think they're expecting the average person to know, right? So Sakura finally, through this bit of dialogue, finally called it out and informs everybody that they are in fact Hidden Sand Ninja. This is also cool because now we know that the nations where both the Hidden Sand and the Hidden Leaf villages reside in, the Land of Wind and the Land of Fire respectively, are allied nations. But remember, the villages operate independently from the nations they reside within, although it seems most hidden ninja villages have rather friendly relationships with their surrounding nation. Sakura at this point steps forward and demands, so state your purpose and it better be good. This gives cause for the Sand Shinobi to actually turn around and address her. Tamari asks, have you guys been living under rocks or what? You don't know what's going on, do you? She then brandishes a form with an image of her face on it and declares, we have permission. Of course, you are correct. We're Hidden Sand Guinea. Our home is the Land of the Wind, and we're here for the tuning exams. Get the picture? Naruto confusedly asks, the tuning exams, what's that? And just then the title slide comes in and Naruto reads, identify yourself, powerful new rivals. Naruto then continues, well, I've never heard of any tuning exams, believe it. Tamari smugly responds, I believe it, that you're totally clueless. And Konohamaru's little know-it-all self chimes in, hey boss, the tuning exams are the exams that every Guinean's got to take in order to graduate to being a full-on tuning. And Naruto excitedly responds, oh, well, why didn't you say so? I'm so there. Gaara simply lets out a simple and walks away, but Sasuke steps up and stops him, saying, hey you, identify yourself. Gaara and Kankuro keep walking, but Tamari's smitten ass stops and asks, who, me? Hoping that Sasuke is going to have taken some particular interest in her. But Sasuke responds, no, him, the guy with the gourd on his back, referring to Gaara. Kankuro and Gaara then stop and turn back, and Gaara then introduces himself by saying, my name is Gaara of the Desert. I'm curious about you too. Who are you? Sasuke responds, I'm Sasuke Uchiha. And a strong breeze passes through as they look each other in the eyes. Naruto then abruptly interrupts the tense moment and says, I bet you're dying to know my name, right? And Gaara quickly responds, I could care less. The group of Sand Shinobi then leap away. Sasuke, with a smirk on his face, thinks, things are getting interesting. It then flashes over to Naruto, who's squatted down asking Shrimpy, hey Konohamaru, do I seem uncool or something? And Shrimpy keeps it real and tells him, well, compared to Sasuke, yeah, you're pretty lame. And I mean, this is wonderful. Even like Naruto's biggest advocate is like, nah, man, Sasuke is way cooler than you, bro. This causes Naruto to like yell in frustration, right? Obviously, he wants to be cool. In this moment, it reveals another group of 3 ninja, 2 guys and a girl, watching all of this transpire from a nearby tree. They're all wearing gray and black camo, and their headbands have a quaver on them, which that symbol doesn't relate to any of the 5 major ninja villages, so we'll just have to wait and see where these guys are from. The one on the left with the headgear asks, what do you think, Dosu? And Dosu, the one in the middle with his face wrapped, responds, the usual weaklings, nothing special, but the one from the Uchiha clan and that desert rat. We should watch them carefully. At this point, it takes us to the Hokage, where he has several of the ninja trainers gathered, and he announces, all right, it's time we choose our candidates for the Chunin examinations. To begin, will those in charge of the rookie Genin step forward? Azuma, Kurenai, and Kakashi all step forward, and Lord Third asks them, what do you say? Are there any in your squads you'd recommend who are ready for the exams despite their inexperience? As you know, any Genin who has carried out 8 or more missions is technically eligible for the examinations. Beyond that, only you can decide when they are ready. Of course, most Genin require a much longer training period, at least twice as many missions. Iruka then thinks, there's no need to say all this, it's way too soon for their squads. Lord Third then asks Kakashi to begin, and Kakashi announces to the room, I lead Squad 7, Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, and Sakura Haruno. I, Kakashi Hatake, recommend all 3 of these Genin for the Chunin selection examinations. And a bead of sweat runs down the side of Iruka's face as he gasps in shock at Kakashi's announcement. And I can't blame Kakashi though, right? They helped legit save his life in the Zabuza fight and prove that they're badasses all around. I also can't blame Iruka for wanting to protect his boy Naruto though either. You want them to grow plenty before being fed to the wolves out in the real world. Kurenai announces, and my squad is number 8, Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame. And now I, Kurenai Yuhi, recommend all 3. Asuma steps forward and announces, and my squad is number 10, Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akamichi. And now I, Asuma Sarutobi, recommend all 3. And cool note here, I think this is the first time we've ever been given any type of anything that indicates that Asuma is in any way related to Lord Third, but they are, right? They're both Sarutobis. The room fills with rabble, and one person even goes, it's been 5 years. And Iruka steps in and demands, hold on just a minute. And Lord Third hears him out saying, yes, Iruka, what is it? Iruka pleads, Lord Hokage, with all respect, the 9 names that were just given were all my students at the academy. I know their skills and abilities. Every one of them has great promise, but it's too soon. They need more experience before they are tested. If they try now, they are sure to fail the exam. Kakashi then turns and says, when I became a Chunin, I was 6 years younger than Naruto is now. And Iruka sharply demands, Naruto is nothing like you. Are you trying to destroy him? And Kakashi calmly responds, well, they're always complaining about not being challenged enough. Maybe wiping out in the exams will teach them a lesson. A little pain is good. And Iruka stammers in shock and demands, what did you say? And real quick, I love that Iruka is like, for real, trying to protect Naruto, right? Like, I don't think that, maybe Kakashi at this point, right? Obviously, but like, it's really, really cool to see Iruka trying to protect Naruto in every way that he can, right? Because Naruto does not have many advocates at this point, even now, right? as the series progresses, I'm certain you'll see there's still plenty of hate for Naruto. And so seeing this love for Iruka, this love for Naruto from Iruka this early on in the series is really, really heartwarming. But as I was saying, Iruka stammers in shock and demands, "What did you say?" to Kakashi. And Kakashi returns, "Oh, nothing fatal, of course, but seriously, Iruka, relax. Listen, I understand how you feel. It's very personal for you, and it upsets you." But Kurenai sharply interjects and says, "All right, back off, Kakashi. You've said enough." Kakashi, however, stands his ground and says, "On the contrary, Kurenai, Iruka needs to hear this. He needs to realize that they're not his students anymore. They're mine." Iruka is visibly frustrated by this. It shows us Asuma, who's watching all of this transpire, and it gives us a dive into his internal dialogue, and all he can really think to himself is, enough already. Iruka then fires back, "But these exams could destroy them, you know that." And suddenly Lord Third stops the whole conversation by saying, "Iruka, you've made your point. I understand. Accordingly, I've decided that the best thing to do is hold a special preliminary test." And Iruka questions aloud, "Preliminary test?" And at this point, we're suddenly taken to the squadlings of Team 7 on the bridge. And before we go any further again, shout out Iruka. Honest to God, having Naruto and the rest of the Guineans' best interests at heart. What a fucking legend. But back to the bridge, Sakura just erupts with frustration and turns to Naruto and yells, Why? It's always the same. He sets the time, and then we have to wait hours for him." Naruto raises his fist in unison and proclaims, "It's not fair. And these fools need to recognize Kakashi's out there lost on the path of life." But either way, Sakura clenches her fist and wonders aloud, "What about my feelings? I rushed here so fast, I didn't even have time to blow dry my hair." Naruto chimes in, "And I didn't even have time to brush my teeth or change my underwear." And this visibly makes Sakura cringe a bit, and she asks, "You didn't? That's really disgusting, Naruto." Sasuke then thinks to himself, "First thing in the morning and they're already driving me nuts." And just in that moment, Kakashi appears on the bridge and gives them a wave and says, "Hey, good morning everyone. Sorry I'm late. Afraid I got lost on the path of life." My man, not all those who wander are lost, indeed. Sakura and Naruto both exclaim, "You liar," in unison. Kakashi then leaps down and tells him, "I know this is a bit sudden, but I recommended you for the Chunin exams. All three of you. These are the application forms." And he hands over some documents. Sakura asks, "Application forms?" Kakashi responds, "You're repeating me, Sakura. This is all voluntary. It's up to each of you. If you don't feel ready, you can wait until next year." Naruto excitedly exclaims, "All right, Kakashi-sensei, you rock," and he leaps in and gives Kakashi a big ol' hug. Kakashi yells, "Don't slobber on my vest." He then sets Naruto back on the ground and says, "Whoever wants to take the exams, sign the application and come to room 301 at the academy. It's at 3 p.m., 5 days from now. That's it." Naruto lets out a big chuckle and says, Chunin exams," as he takes the application. It then shows the squadlings walking along the walkway, and Naruto is still just cooing, "Chunin exams. I'll be up against a lot of really wicked ninja." He then thinks to himself, like the guy with the mummy on his back. And he then flashes Kankuro in his mind, right? He referred to the crow as a mummy and referred to Kankuro as the guy with a mummy on his back. He then glares at Sasuke and thinks, "And of course, Mr. Attitude." He then has a daydream of defeating Kankuro and Sasuke and being declared the grand champion, hoisting his grand championship trophy over his head while on a podium on the first place position, while Kankuro and Sasuke both sit defeated on the second and third place positions of the pedestal. He then thinks, "If I come out on top, becoming Hokage will be easy after that." It then shows us Naruto's daydream continuing, with Lord Third admiring aloud that Naruto is better than an old geezer such as himself, and that he'll just retire and let Naruto take over. Naruto gets the Hokage hat and lets out a big yeah, and it's like really, really cute, right? But then at this point he snaps back to reality, where Sasuke is thinking, I hope I get the chance to fight that guy. And he has a flash of Gaara in his mind. Sasuke then thinks, this is hopeless. I can't keep up with Sasuke. Sakura then thinks, this is hopeless. I can't keep up with Sasuke. I can't even beat Naruto. I'll never pass these exams. It then shows us more people pouring into the village during the evening twilight, including a group of ninja with headbands that are just 4 vertical slits. Again, headbands representing a ninja village other than one of the 5 great ninja villages. We will find out about these headbands soon enough, presumably. Night turns to day, and Naruto is out walking when he happens across Konohamaru Ninja Team and Shrimpy, who excitedly asks Naruto to please play ninja with them. Naruto happily obliges, saying, I don't have any dangerous ninja missions today, so no problem. The Konohamaru Ninja Team excitedly exclaims, excellent, in unison, when suddenly a ninja with the headband with the 4 vertical slits on it appears behind the kiddos. He snatches Moegi and leaps onto the torii with her, and she screams with fright, Naruto, Konohamaru, help! Shrimpy immediately yells, what are you gonna do? What are you doing with Moegi, you big slug? He called him a slug. I think, who else called someone a slug? I know that Naruto called someone a slug back in the day, too. That's a common insult in this series. It's great. Naruto also comes running up and yells, let her go, now! The ninja laughs maniacally and bolts away, dashing along the top of the torii lining the walkway. Naruto yells, come on, Konohamaru, and leaps into action. Konohamaru follows suit, exclaiming, I'm with you, boss. As he leaps into action, Udon hollers, hold on, and dashes to keep up. And I wonder who the fuck this dude is. Why is he kidnapping Moegi? What village is he from? So many questions at the current moment. It then takes us back into the village where Sakura is sitting, having an angsty moment, sitting alone, holding herself, sighing and saying aloud, Chunin exams, right? Obviously just super anxious about the Chunin exams, worried about not being able to pass while Sasuke does, and ultimately not being able to remain by Sasuke's side is like the thing that's always bothering her. She's obviously not confident about the whole situation, and right in this moment, Sasuke happens to be passing by, and he calls out for her. She gasps and yells, Sasuke, what's up? Sasuke says, let's take a walk, just you and me. Sakura blushes and questions, no way, you mean it? It then flashes us back to the chase scene between Moegi's abductor and his pursuers. And the unknown ninja is laughing maniacally as he leaps from tree branch to tree branch, and he remarks, well, he can keep up with me at this speed. Naruto, in full pursuit, yells, I'll get this creep, Moegi! And Konohamaru and Udon can't keep up and they stop. Konohamaru remarks, oh man, this is bad. Where's the boss? We've got to find the boss. Udon leaps next to Konohamaru and asks, are we lost or is he? It then takes us to the scene between Moegi and her abductor, and Moegi is screaming as he ties her to a tree. No, let me go. And the unknown ninja laughingly remarks as he binds Moegi's mouth, I thought the Hidden Leaf Village had powerful ninja, but now I see you're nothing, just a bunch of weaklings. Naruto lands behind him and he turns and says, well, that was quick. Naruto stands and points at Moegi's abductor and says, hey you, yeah you, the fat old guy, what do you think you're doing with Moegi? The ninja responds as he puts a kunai to Moegi's throat, what am I doing? Is that your question? You really want to know? If you move, the brat is finished. Naruto then demands, hey, Why are you doing this? She's just a kid. Let her go. The ninja then responds, I want the first Hokage's scroll of sealing. Bring it to me, and I'll let the girl go. Naruto questions, the scroll of sealing? And real quick, that's I reckon the first Hokage's scroll of sealing is the scroll that Naruto stole initially, where he learned the multi-shadow clone jutsu. And so they may be tying back into some old stuff, but I'm not entirely sure, and I'm not going to go look it up right now mid-recording. But upon revisitation while I'm reading all this, that occurs to me. It then takes us to Sakura and Sasuke, who are walking along the river where it's gray and foggy. Sakura asks Sasuke, how come all of a sudden, you want to walk with me? He then tells her, because I need to tell you to give up on the Chunin exams. There's no way you can pass them, Sakura. Sakura responds defeatedly as she hangs her head. I was afraid of that, you're right. Sasuke continues, these ninja are very advanced and they have no mercy. If you try to fight them, you could lose your life. Sakura excitedly remarks, but Sasuke, you're telling me this because you care about me. Sasuke responds, I guess that's true. Suddenly, a bad guy ninja appears in the background and laughingly remarks, two sweethearts, how touching. Sasuke, without even turning to face him, remarks, get lost unless you want to die. The ninja yells, talk is cheap, and leaps in the air and throws several shuriken at Sasuke, who blocks all of them with his kunai and then rushes forward exclaiming, now I'm really mad. Sakura yells for Sasuke to be careful. The ninja then leaps into the air and throws his umbrella weapon at Sasuke. Sasuke sees this coming from a mile away and yells, no way. He then throws a kunai to block it and change its trajectory mid-flight, and he hits it directly, but when he does, the umbrella turns into dozens of kunai. Sasuke is shocked by this, and it appears as though he gets hit by the attack. Sakura yells for Sasuke, and the smoke clears, and it's revealed that Sasuke was in fact hit by several of the kunai and is laid out on the ground. Sakura yells for Sasuke as she runs towards him to help. The scene then transitions to Naruto and the bad guy ninja, and the bad guy ninja is taunting Naruto by saying, don't just stand there like a fool, hurry up and get the scroll. Naruto responds, oh yeah, right, and what happens if I say no? And the bad guy responds, then I guess you don't care what happens to this girl. Naruto responds, what girl? All I see is two dummies, you and the one next to you made of straw. The ninja immediately turns and is shocked to see he's tied up a straw dummy. And he yells, what? Where did she go? He then looks up and sees Naruto in a tree with the real Moegi. The beat drops and Naruto responds, she's right here with the greatest ninja in the world. Moegi, starstruck, chimes in, yeah, that's you, boss. You're my hero. The bad guy ninja shakes his fist at Naruto and asks, a clone jutsu? I'll waste you, punk. A Naruto clone then comes running up, spinning a big net and exclaims, you just don't know when you're outclassed. He then throws the net on him and jumps him with a bunch of shadow clones in true Naruto fashion. Just as he handles things, Konohamaru and Udon come running up, and Shrimpy excitedly yells, hey boss, we're here. Naruto turns and yells, yeah, well, it's about time, you guys. Moegi runs and gives Shrimpy a hug while exclaiming, Konohamaru, I was really scared. Shrimpy rubs her head and tells her, okay, it's all right. Udon then asks Naruto, did you catch him, boss? Can we see him? Naruto stands up and says, sure, he's right here. I'll show you what the... Huh? And he looks over and he's captured a rock. Konohamaru remarks, hey, he used a substitution jutsu on you. Naruto exclaims, copycat, that's what I did to him. And it then reveals the bad guy ninja is still nearby, hiding just outside of the field of vision of any of our team, and he says, "I see." The scene then transitions to Sakura crying, hunched over Sasuke, who's all jacked up from the tricky kunai attack from the bad guy. The bad guy then walks up and laughs and declares he's finished, and that's how you'll end up if you take part in the tuning exams. Sakura then cries out, "Oh, Sasuke, I'm no idiot. I saw right through that cheap genjutsu from the first moment." And the ninja surprisingly asks, "What?" Sakura stands up and says, "Sasuke inviting me out, then suddenly acting like he's all worried about me? Yeah, like he'd ever. That was a foolish mistake. You thought I'd fall for that?" The ninja angrily responds, "Are you calling me a fool?" She sharply responds back, "I would if you were really here, but you're just an illusion. The real ninja ran away like a coward, so you're just the illusion of a coward." The bad guy then laughs and pulls out his second umbrella weapon from his back and demands to know, "Are you sure I'm not real?" And he then throws the umbrella weapon at her, and Sakura calmly walks towards the incoming umbrella and it passes right through her. She then chuckles and says, "Yeah, I'm sure." The bad guy ninja then laughs loudly and says, "Just what I'd expect from a kunoichi trained by Kakashi, but the tuning exams will be more than illusions. We'll see if you can cut it," as he disappears. Sakura then yells, "You don't scare me. Illusions or not, bring 'em on. The tuning exams. Take that, the tuning exams." And she pumps her fists in the air in excitement. She then slumps over and remarks, "Actually, I'm really worried about them." It then flashes to Sasuke roundhouse kicking a ninja of the same outfit with the same headband, and he just sends him flying. He stands over the bad guy and demands, "Stay out of our village." And the scene transitions to Kakashi sitting on a rooftop watching the moon, when suddenly the bad guy ninja appears on the roof behind him, and Kakashi calmly asks, "So how did it go?" The ninja responds, "They all made it, your squad and the others. All 9 Genin proved themselves ready for the exam." And the ninja transforms into their normal self, and it's revealed to be Iruka Sensei, who then offers, "You were right, Kakashi. They're good. They've all developed really impressive skills." Kakashi responds, "But the tuning exams can break anyone. We'll see if they can tough it out." The scene transitions to several kunai hitting a practice target, and a male can be heard saying, "Did you hear? We're going to have rookies at the exams. First year Genin. That hasn't happened in 5 years." And shout out all 9 of these kiddos then. Obviously, they're a special group, right? Squad 7, Squad 8, Squad 10. A girl then responds as she twirls a kunai in her hand, "No way, I bet it's just some jonin trying to boost their egos." And the guy responds, "No, there's more to the story than that. There are 3 of them from Kakashi's squad." And a second guy responds, "That's interesting." And the girl responds to that, "But not very." She then throws the kunai and hits the target in the bullseye, and it reveals the second guy is sitting cross-legged just barely beneath the target, who responds, "Either way, it's bad for them." And this is our first good look at the squadlings of Team Guy. I love every single one of these characters, right? We're still early on. They're just now being introduced. So I'm not going to talk about their jutsus. I'm not going to talk about how they plug into the rest of the greater landscape here. But just know that these guys are really, really dope characters. The girl's name is Tintin. That's in the pink vest. The guy in the green jumper is Rock Lee, and the dude with the long hair is Neji Hyuga, cousin of Hinata Hyuga, Naruto's little admirer, and the character that I named my puppy Neji after. Right, I have a puppy named Neji. I named him after Neji. So Neji's got a special place in my heart for sure. The scene then transitions to the front of the academy where Naruto and Sasuke are standing among others. Sakura shows up and Naruto greets her with, "Sakura, hey, you're late." She acknowledges this and apologizes and has a flashback to her run-in with Iruka, right? Which she still doesn't know is Iruka. She then says, "Good morning, Sasuke." He simply responds, "Yeah." But he notices something is off and thinks, what's up with her? She's different. The scene transitions to a group of people chattering in a hallway, and suddenly Rock Lee gets knocked to the ground and Tintin goes to help him up. An unknown ninja talks shit saying, "You're taking the tuning exams, but you can't even get past us?" It then reveals it's two ninja from the Hidden Leaf that are giving Rock Lee the hard time. The one that's been doing the talking then continues, "Why don't you just give up now before you get hurt?" And the second jerk chimes in, "Yeah, I think I hear your mommy calling you." Tintin then pleads, "Please let us through. We're supposed to go in there." Tintin tries to stand up. She tries to stand up to him, but she gets promptly punched in the face and sent back sitting on her ass. Someone from the surrounding group yells, "That's harsh." And the second jerk responds, "That's harsh? Don't kid yourself. We're being nice by comparison. The exams are going to make this look like a picnic." The first jerk then adds, some of you won't survive the exams. Others will be wrecked for life. Some of you may go crazy. For Chunin, it's always life and death. You think it's a joke? Chunin are qualified to lead missions. The lives of your squad members are in your hands. So you better be tough enough to take the heat. Delicate little girls don't belong here. We're just thinning out that herd. You won't pass anyway, so go home and play with your dolls. Man, fuck these dudes. Sexism isn't cool. Also, these exams can't be that bad, can they? Talking about boys dying and going permanently crazy? Nothing to fuck around with, that's for sure. In this moment, the squadlings from Squad 7 walk in, and Sasuke offers real nice speech. "Now both of you step aside and let me through. And while you're at it, reverse the genjutsu. We can see through your illusion anyway. We're going to the 3rd floor." And people all around from like the surrounding group murmur, "What does he mean? We're on the 3rd floor." "I know." And the first jerk goes, well, you saw through the genjutsu, huh?" Sasuke looks over to Sakura and says, "Go on, tell him, Sakura. I'm sure you saw it before anyone else did. You have the sharpest eyes and the best analytical skills on our squad. You must have seen this coming a mile away." And Sakura asks, "I must have? Well, sure, of course. Sure, I spotted it right away. This is only the 2nd floor." And Naruto chimes in, "Right?" The second jerk goes, "Huh, so you noticed the illusion, huh? Now let's see you deal with this." And he leaps into the air and spins, and Sasuke goes to counter it when Rock Lee moves in with super speed and catches both of their attacks and blocks them simultaneously. Sakura thinks, "How did he do that? I thought he was some weakling getting knocked around like that, but he's as fast as Sasuke." Sasuke thinks, "He blocked my kick. That's some chakra he's got in his arm." Neji walks up to Rock Lee and asks, "Hey, what happened to the plan? I thought you were the one who said keep a low profile and don't let anyone see our skill level." Rock Lee responds, "I know, but..." And he blushes real hard and he looks at Sakura. Tintin chimes in, "Never mind, it's over, forget it." Sasuke thinks, "Hey, what happened to the bruises he had before? They're gone. Were they fakes?" Rock Lee walks up to Sakura and introduces himself and asks, "You're Sakura, right?" He then gives her a big thumbs up and a wink and says, "Please be my girlfriend. I vow to protect you with my life." Sakura is taken aback by this and responds, "Definitely not." Rock Lee asks, "Why?" To which Sakura responds, "Because you're a weirdo." Rock Lee hangs his head in defeat, and Naruto laughs at the whole situation, knowing that pain all too well. Neji calls out to Sasuke, "Hey, you over there, what's your name?" Naruto sees this and is infuriated by it. He gets the fire in his eyes again and thinks, again, it's always about Sasuke. Sasuke responds, "It's common courtesy to give your own name before asking someone else's." Neji responds, "You're a rookie, aren't you? How old are you anyway?" And Sasuke responds, "I'm not obliged to answer." And Neji angrily responds, "What's that?" And Tenten gets a chuckle out of this whole deal, and she obviously thinks Sasuke is cute. And Sasuke simply turns his back on Neji and Tenten and just doesn't have time for it at all. It then shows us Rock Lee and Naruto are both leaned up against the wall, rubbing their heads. Rock Lee questions aloud, "A weirdo?" While Naruto says aloud, "No one wants to know my name." Sakura then goes, "Hey Naruto, Sasuke, come on, let's go." And at this point, the two jerks peek from around the corner, and the first jerk says, with a chuckle, "So those are the bunch of misfits that Kakashi and Guy have been going on about. I guess they passed their first test, getting their applications through." And they both transform into their true selves, which is just older versions of themselves. And the second jerk says, "It looks like the exams are going to be fun this year." And the first jerk responds, "Yeah, maybe for us, but not for them." And okay, maybe these guys aren't jerks. Maybe they're actually just part of the testing process and they're fulfilling their duty. It takes us to the squadlings of Team 7 walking together up the stairs, where Sasuke thinks, "So this is the big, bad Chunin exams, huh? It's a freak show." He then has a flash of Neji, Rock Lee, and Gaara pass through his head, and the episode ends, right? And it might not seem like a lot, but there's definitely a whole lot that kind of got introduced in this episode. We're definitely getting closer and closer to the actual Chunin exams themselves. I can't wait to see what that's going to look like, right? There's obviously going to be a process of vetting these guys, and I'm certain it's going to be interesting how they go about doing that. I love that Sasuke and Gaara have already identified one another as top dogs. I love that, I don't love that, I want to point out that Gaara is fucking up, sleeping on Naruto. Right, Gaara thinks that Sasuke is the top dog because Sasuke stopped Kankuro with a pebble. But you'll remember, Sasuke was laid out in the Crystal Ice Mirror Dome Jutsu, and his Fireball Jutsu couldn't even melt the ice, while Naruto was out punching through those Crystal Ice Mirrors with his fists. So, again, we know who's where on the totem pole, and Gaara evidently does not. I love that Iruka stuck up for the kiddos in Naruto. The mans just couldn't let him go to battle. Mad respect, right? Love Iruka Sensei. The first time I ever introduced Iruka Sensei, I told you I love the shit out of Iruka Sensei. And the last time I ever introduced him, I'll probably be saying I love the shit out of Iruka Sensei. I love that Lord Third heard out Iruka and let Iruka test them all personally. Also, shout out Iruka for literally being teacher to everyone on their come up. All 9 of the rookie Genin this year that are like considered the top prospects. Like, not, you're a talented Genin if you're being allowed to participate in the Chunin exams on your first year, right? And obviously, a part of that has to do with the quality work that Iruka is putting into them previous. Also, this is the first time in 5 years where any rookie Genin are participating in the Chunin exam. So again, it just like speaks to how special this group of kids that we're following are right now. We met Team Guy. Oh my god, I love all these guys. It sucks that we're so early on and I can't talk about everything that I know about them, but it's Tenten is the girl, Rock Lee is the guy in the green, Neji is the guy with the long hair, and he's not his cousin. If you don't realize, Rock Lee was a badass when he caught Sasuke and the Jonin's kick simultaneously. You're doing wrong, right? The youngin's a savage. I love how Sakura turned down our man's bushy brow. I still don't understand how she could do it, though. The guy's teeth were literally glistening at her whenever he smiled. Oh well, we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out. Our Squad 7 has passed Iruka's pretest, and now they've passed the first actual test of the tuning exams. They're unstoppable. They're on the way to becoming tuning. And with that, I can put a bow in this episode. Everybody, I really appreciate y'all listening along. Again, this is Joshua. I'm your Konoha companion. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, whatever. Find a way to support, right? Be friendly, right? That's the number one thing. We're all doing this so that we can be friends and find people who have mutual interests, right? And especially in this Naruto stuff. And so with that, guys, thank you all so much. Again, I'm Joshua. I'm your Konoha companion, and I'm looking forward to going over the next episode with you ASAP. Thank you so much.